What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers Masterpiece review, and today we're taking a look at MP-39 Sunstreaker, and I'm so glad this guy came out, because I remember when the designer of Sideswipe had made him, he had said that he would like to do a completely unique mold for Sunstreaker, and I don't know if this is the designer. Actually, I don't think it is, but regardless, it's a unique mold, and I love that. But before we talk too much about the actual toy, let's talk about his accessory. We've got a black plastic cast wheelchair, and we've got a mush face chip chase. No articulation on this guy, so you're not moving his hands or anything. I guess he wouldn't really be standing anyway, but it would have been nice to have some kind of articulation on this guy. And he's at least par for the course for where MPs are concerned. Not terribly exciting, I'll be honest with you. They also gave us the mask for, I believe, Transformers Go to Hollywood or something like that. It's okay, it just pegs on. If I remember to show it, I'll show it later. But if I don't, you saw it now. He comes with some alternate faces. We got a smiling Sunstreaker face, and we've got like a upside down smiling Sunstreaker face. It's pretty much the same face with the mouth upside down. He comes with a gun. You can only peg it into, there's a big hole up here that you can peg it into in car mode, and it only works in the Sunstreaker mode with the like big intakes on the back. That's right, there's a different mode there. He also has a little pistol. It's stored in here. I'll show you that after. Hopefully I cover all the gimmicks too. Here's the car. It's nice. It is a Lamborghini Countach LP500 S, I believe, is what they say it is. I'm not a, Lamborghini expert. I know it's based off of the Countach, so that's all I really know about it. They have opening doors, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of like a fluke thing, I guess. Like, come on. There's no way anything's going in there. It doesn't look particularly good with it open. I suppose on like a 3/4 view, it's not bad looking, but it's mostly, I think, for transformation, and they're like, hey, you can open it. And the same goes for the hood. You can open that up, and there's just nothing of interest there. One of the most interesting things is they have these little tabs here, and if you push on the button from the bottom, you get the headlights to come out, which is way cooler than that TSC Lamborghini, which is the same exact alt mode, and you have to peg them on in. So I really love that. The car collector inside me adores this little feature. And look, you can give them that like 80s problem where only one of the headlights work, so you would always see like those Trans Ams rolling around with one headlight up and the other one down. I don't know if the Lamborghinis use that mechanism, so it may not have been a thing for the Lamborghini, but it's a very 80s nostalgia thing, if you ask me. Here's the back end. You can see right now he's in Sunstreaker mode, and we got the chrome bits here. I will say, I don't know if you can see it, my chrome on this one is not very perfect. Like, it's got like a haze to it. There's probably nothing I'm going to do to fix it, but just something to be aware of. Yours may have that too. He has these spoilers which can move, and from one episode that I can't quite remember, you can tuck them back like that and pop out a little cannon from the back. So there's that. It's nice that the MP line incorporates that kind of stuff. Now I have Sunstreaker, or Sideswipe I should say, in his robot mode, and I felt like I have the G2 one, and it's enough of a comparison that you can just see it in black. I mean, just imagine it red, right? So you can see overall shape is roughly the same. There's slight difference in curvature on the front end here, at least from what I can tell, just slightly different. And Sunstreaker is just slightly longer in this mode versus the regular Lamborghini. But alas, this guy has the regular Lamborghini mode too, and it's done by opening the doors here, unpegging the sides of the car here, which can be a little tough sometimes. Bring this piece up. There's the gun pegged in down there. We'll take a look at that a little more later. From here, you want to take, I think you want to take the spoilers actually and move them back so you can have extra room to move things. Bring this up. This all kind of flips around, flip these little chrome pieces on down so they're flat. I believe that these need to, can't remember if these little yellow pieces need to go in or not. We'll just leave them like that and we'll find out relatively quick if it's going to work for us. And all this stuff can collapse right back down. Nope, they were fine where they were. Close this little yellow piece here and hopefully your doors are still open. You can collapse all this down just like this. And then bring the spoilers back and back in place. Take the back of the car here, push this little piece forward, which is going to move the whole spoiler forward just a little. Take these, and these are difficult in my opinion. They seem to be getting a little easier as I mess with them, but they were very difficult the first time. Take them, fold them on in, and now we've got the standard Lamborghini mode. And overall, I think it looks really good. I will say that this is a little unsightly from some angles, but I think a little bit of black paint right in that intake area is going to look great, and I don't think it affects anything. This figure also has a couple little areas that could use a little bit of black paint on like the intakes, so I will definitely be going back and filling that in. And when you do that, you have a Lamborghini that, as far as I can tell, it's the same size as the original MP mold, so like that is super impressive. And if you don't like the outlandish Lamborghini that Sunstreaker is, like, that looks really good. I think that was awesome, and I'm so glad they incorporated that in. So we're going to transform this guy to his robot mode. Hopefully it doesn't fail me, because I've only done it one time so far. And yeah, it was all pretty intuitive, so hopefully, you know, it's not a lie. I'm going to start by bringing the spoiler like this. There's a couple pieces that I'm not 100% positive I necessarily have the correct orientation on right now, but we'll make sure it's there by the end. And we're going to work on the legs first, because they just seem like the most obvious place for me to start. So we can start by undoing some of this stuff here, and you can see in the process one of the legs pretty much came out. So there we go. We bring that like that. Bring this leg piece on down and bring the windshield up like this. And we'll go ahead and open the back just to give us a little bit of extra room to work with. So we can spin this piece, hopefully, around like so. And hopefully most of that was on camera. I know sometimes that's an issue. We're going to rotate the... I'll take this little piece out of here and rotate this around, and then rotate the waist piece around. And I believe we now have that in the proper position it needs to be, and we'll go back to doing the legs. Bring these crotch pieces around, bring this hood piece up. I'm sorry, we do have this the wrong way. There we go. You want this piece in the front, and then you can bring these crotch pieces around like this to make his little, I guess it's crotch armor, I don't know what you would actually call it. Bring that around, bring this piece up and fold all that away, and bring this down and around. So you have this type of thing going on. From here, bring this out, and we'll work on the foot here. Bring this little piece all the way down and around, bring it up like this, and you have to rotate the wheel if it'll let us. There we go. It's a little bit tight on that joint there, but you should be able to collapse this all up and have your foot done like that. So let's try to show that again on this side here. Take this piece, bring it out like that, bring this piece down, whoops, there we go, just like that. Now that we got that, you can bring the foot back in and up like this to actually form the feet. Have this piece all the way down and back, and if you want, you can take this gun out of here, and just real quick to show it, because I'm probably going to forget it in this review. It's kind of like a little pistol like this, but what's really neat about it to me is that they give you this little storage space. So you're going to take this gun, and if you want to, obviously if you don't want to, don't bother, but you can peg it into this panel here, and then you can close it down here for a little sidearm action that he can pull out when necessary. And these panels are a little bit hard to work with. I don't know if I necessarily love how difficult it is to move them, but it doesn't feel like anything's necessarily going to break, but I still may end up putting a little lubrication on it. Anyway, bring this down here, and you will see that this kind of comes around here to fill this in. Would be nice if it was able to go a little more flush, but it doesn't seem to work that way. Just kind of sits there like that. Take this, rotate this in, and then you want to kind of bring it down and bring it in to fill in the side door here, and at the same time it kind of collapses into the leg. I really like how that works. So we'll go ahead and do all this for the other side. Collapse this, bring it down, being careful of those mirrors, which they do give you 2 replacement mirrors if you ever do need them. Bring this down and kind of clean all this up like so, and bring this panel down. And there is the same piece on both sides of the leg, so you can put the sidearm on either side, whichever one you prefer. So there we go. We got the feet done. We can get to the top of this body now. So we're going to take this, rotate it down, and you can see we have a fake chest, and you just kind of want to fold everything kind of down and inward. But we don't want to tab this into place quite yet. So now coming to the top of the body, what we're going to do is flip this around. You can see we have a fake chest shield. Fold these down, but we don't want to peg this all into place yet. Bring your windscreen up like this, and take the backpack piece and just kind of let it hang down like this temporarily. From here, we're going to fold this on down, and there is a tab right here that you want to pull out. And then we'll do the same on this side, bring it down, pull this tab out, and with that you can come in here, flip this up, and push this little piece, and that is going to bring the head slider up. From here, all this chest stuff can peg into place when you bring it on down. Plug these windscreen, or I guess side window pieces in, and this little tab here kind of locks in right there, which can be a little difficult to make happen sometimes, but it should clip. Just know it doesn't go on this part, it's that you can see it right in there where it locks in. So now we have that. This is probably one of my least favorite parts of this, is this joint here, because it just feels really tight. It seems to be loosening up like much of this toy, but just something to be aware of. I believe they also want you to have these in their Sunstreaker alt mode look. And fold these chrome bits up, and you'll see they kind of complete the thrusters on the back. These pieces on the back here fold up, and that folds in like this. And then what this should do, if you have it right, is you should get the pieces of the spoiler to, maybe they go this way. yeah, there they go. Fit in underneath the windshield on the back here. And then this little tab locks it all up. Then you just kind of bring these around to complete like the jetpack look. So there we go. We get take these, flip them around 360 like so. Pull the arm out here, and then it's kind of hard to tell, but that is out of its position. You kind of want to take it and slide it in just a little. It's really very minor. You may never even notice it if you didn't do it. But take it and slide it on in. And it's not going to rotate at this joint ever. It looks like it should, but it's all at this elbow piece right here as far as I can tell. From here, take the arm assembly. You have to kind of pull this thing out, and at the same time it's going to rotate the fist, which is painted. I wish it was a cast piece of plastic, because this transformation is a little rough on the painted plastic that is the hand. So once you have that, you can take this and rotate it down, and all these various pieces lock in here. And you can see we've got his hand, and you can spread the thumb, and you can see where it's just kind of done a little chipping. It really should have been a cast yellow plastic. There is cast yellow here, so it's a weird decision not to make the hand out of that. Anyway, once again on this side, kind of work all these pieces out together. Rotate the little panel here. And there we go. We've got our Sunstreaker in his robot mode. Let me fix his fist here so he looks kind of normal. There we go. Yeah, and in robot mode, I really find myself liking this guy quite a bit. I think he looks leagues better to me than the Bad Cube version. It really captures the cartoon essence of the character, maybe to a fault. I almost wish he had a silver face, you know, like a metal silver face versus like the kind of grayish silver face, to kind of go with the old MP style. But I mean, like that is Sunstreaker through and through. And the backpack, in pictures, for whatever reason, in pictures it looked enormous, but in person, I mean, it looks no more than he's wearing like a jetpack of some sort or something like that. Like, I have no complaints on this guy in his various modes. I think they did a really good job. This is probably one of the best Masterpiece figures I've ever messed with, to be honest with you. So we're not going to go over articulation too much. There is a lot of articulation on this guy. He's got shoulders here that move like this, so you can put two hands on a gun. He got plenty of range of motion out of the head thanks to this extra joint, which I love. Like, he can look up, he can actually look down, or he can look ahead. If you don't think his head is sitting high enough, go ahead and prop it up a tiny bit, whatever you want to do. Plenty of range of motion out of this guy. He's virtually an action figure, like a posable action figure that can transform. Like, it's pretty insane. The way the hands work is standard fare. Just peg in your weapon there and close the fists around it. Really nothing groundbreaking, but yeah, it's there. Now, I will say, with respect to these shoulders here, I can definitely tell that this side is not as strong as the other, which does make me wonder how it's going to hold up, you know, years from now when the plastic tolerances have changed a little bit. But this side's nice and stiff, and this side's really not a big issue unless he's holding a gun. So it's probably fine. Just could be a little tighter, and it can probably be tightened up with some like clear nail polish or something to kind of, on that rocker joint, be a little more stiff. So I'm not going to do too many comparisons, but I wanted to put him next to Sideswipe, and I will say he looks pretty awesome next to Sideswipe, in my opinion. You got a very broad chest on Sideswipe, and it's like much more sleek on Sunstreaker, but I feel like it kind of did look that way in the cartoon. I don't know, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Would be cool to see an updated Sideswipe to see what could be done. There's actually a design floating around on the internet of someone who's modified the side swipe mold that actually looks pretty cool, making them more sleek and in line with the cartoon look. But I mean, honestly, these two look really good on a shelf, and I love having them together. So I wanted to do a quick comparison with the Bad Cube Sunstreaker or Sunsurge, because I mean, honestly, there's really no comparison here. The head sculpt of the Bad Cube one isn't that great. Like, it's not bad, but then you see this one and you realize just how much better it could be. To the shoulders, like the way these shoulders sit on those little pegs sticking out, like this looks so much better, like so much more believable. The proportions here of the chest, like this little piece of yellow makes a huge world of difference to me. Like this one looks just small and like someone squished them down a little, and this one has that extra extension that I wish this one always had. The legs, I don't think the Bad Cube one does bad legs, but the feet here definitely do not look nearly as good as these feet. And if you really want to, now he's got headlights on his feet. Now he's got busted 80s feet where only one headlight pops up. So real quick, I wanted to put on the masked face, and you can see how it goes under the chin and over the head, and it's fine, it looks good. If you are going to put this on, make sure that you put the chin piece on underneath and then the top piece, because the top piece is sliding past black plastic and you won't scratch it up. But if you try to do it the other way, you are going to be rubbing against the chin. So personally, I'm never going to put it on outside of this review, but yeah, that's how it works. Man, does that look good, or does that look good? Alright, let's get this guy back to his vehicle mode, and we will get out of here. So we'll start with the shoulders, because I always forget these little pieces have to rotate. And why not? We're going to come to the hands here, and it's easiest to put it on a 90 degree here on the elbow and try to push to get that little bit that this thing moves. And that, if it's working right, when you open up, these should collapse in like that. So we know we have that correct. Open up the hand, fold that closed. Actually, you don't even really need to do that. That was a lie. Take this, fold it on in place with the panel up like that. And now all this should fold down and peg into place. So you should have something that kind of looks like that going on. Let's zoom out here. We'll do that for the other side. So once again, get the 90 and push that a little. Fold the thumb as far in as you can. Open this piece all the way up, bringing it flush with the fist. Fold the fist down like that. And then because of this 90, all this stuff should collapse right on into itself. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and untab this. And then I'm going to push the head down, and then so I don't forget, I'm going to push these tabs down. Because you'll get to a part in the transformation that if those are up, you'll be struggling to figure out where you went wrong. Take this back piece here, unclip it. This is going to let all this stuff come free. We're going to go ahead and fold these all the way open. Fold this around. Take this, fold this back to the other side, and I guess we'll go with the standard Lamborghini mode here. So we're going to fold those down, fold this up, fold these in position. We can take these back pieces, open them up, and bring them around. Like so. And now we can take this whole piece here, make sure we clear Sunstreaker's head, and bring it up like this. And I believe we need the fists like this. We'll know for sure when we get this all together. From here, this back piece can come up, and you should have the sides in this piece here. think I'm losing my voice. To some that would be a blessing, I guess, right? Bring this around, fold these windows down like that, and we should see that the back of the car will be willing to go together. So I think that's right. So we'll leave it like that for now, just like this. From here, rotate this assembly around to the other side, like that. And then let's make sure that we have the hood facing the right way, which does have to come back through the legs like so. So coming down to the legs here, we're going to take this piece here and untab it like this, and that's going to let this whole assembly kind of come out, and then carefully work the window out of the way and bring this back in, and then you can kind of close this all up and bring this down like so. From here, take this whole piece of the car and collapse it on in. And what you should find is that the hip skirt is going to go right under there, and then all this stuff here is going to peg in. So once you have it collapsed down like this, we're just going to leave it for now, but we're going to bring this kind of like that. And we're going to just go and do it all to the other side here real quick while we can. Take the wheel. I don't really like these double joints like this because they're always very difficult to manipulate. But bring that around, unpeg this so you can access the side here. That's gonna allow this to open up a little bit more. Clear that mirror and flip this all the way around. Once you have that, go ahead and collapse all this stuff back. Bring the door, you can leave it open. Bring this whole assembly around like this, and you have pretty much most of the car back in its final form, even though it looks a little bit of a mess right now. So what we're going to do, bring the windscreen on down like this, and bring the, well, how do we do this in the best possible way to show you guys? Bring this down like that, like kind of arch the body here, and then you should be able to get the roof down and then put the windscreen down on top of it, and then you can kind of rotate everything back upwards like this. Once you have this in position, you can take all this stuff here and collapse it on in, and what you should see is that the hip skirts go underneath these panels, and you can see some connection points right here in the front, so make sure that all this pegs in. Coming to these pieces here, kind of adjust it a little until those peg in. Take this piece and just kind of fold it flat. That'll help you. And now you see you have the front of the car together, and you can take this, bring it on up, and can't remember which way these little things go until they're there. That's the way. And they fell into place, as you can see. And you can take this, close it up with the doors open. Take the doors, tab them in place like that. Just kind of make sure everything is tight together. Rotate the spoilers around, back in place like that. So yeah, back in his car mode, he looks great. I mean, it's pretty intuitive, fun transformation. The fact that they've incorporated so much into this guy in both of his alt modes and such a good looking robot mode, like, he is the embodiment of a masterpiece. And I'm not entirely sure if the MP line has actually put out something this impressive, at least to me, in a long time. I'm trying to think, what was their last MP car that they put out? I guess it would be like Ironhide, right? Is that the last MP car? I don't know. Like, this is leagues above that. So, yeah, if you don't like your Bad Cube and you are looking for a new Sunstreaker, definitely recommend this guy. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'll see you next time.